Hello, good afternoon, good evening. Another E3 stream, or E3 replacement stream, as we've deemed. Summit Game Fest, hosted by Mr. Geoff Keighley. This is going to be one of the heavy hitters of E3. If we just look at what's confirmed, it gives us an idea of what we're in for. So we've guaranteed to see Gotham Knights footage. We're going to see some first gameplay of Callisto Protocol, which of course got revealed on the PlayStation State of Play event on, what was that, on Sunday night, I think it was. Actually, it might have been, I literally can't remember when that was, that State of Play. But anyway, yeah, we're guaranteed to see some Callisto Protocol stuff. We're guaranteed to see some gameplay from the new Modern Warfare 2. And also some stuff with Rock and his appearance in Fortnite. Apparently he's also going to be talking about that Black Adam movie that he's got coming out. So that's the stuff we're guaranteed. It's more likely than not, I would say, that we will see some more stuff, because obviously we haven't had a EA Play event, and they recently did some trailers and stuff, so I reckon they might have some of the trailers featured on this one. Basically the trailers we've already seen would be my guess. What's quite interesting, of course, is that we've already had what some would consider potentially a quite big announcement already before this show began, and that of course is the Last of Us remake coming on the 2nd of November. A bit odd that Sony didn't either put it on their State of Play event or wait until the actual event. They released it, I think, an hour or two before this got underway. And just briefly to touch on that, it looks really, really nice. The overall texture work looks really nice. I think they're using the Last of Us 2 engine, if I recall correctly. So it looks really, really nice. It is a tiny bit odd that Sony are releasing Last of Us remake, because I would have thought maybe what they would have done is put Last of Us and Last of Us 2 on the PS5 as a bundle, which I don't believe they're doing. I think it's literally just the Last of Us remake, which is quite odd. Though it is, of course, we must say that the big thing, of course, much like we've seen with Marvel's Spider-Man, is that Last of Us is coming up, is going to be coming out, on PC. So it looks like Sony are getting more comfortable with putting stuff on the PC, I should say. Yeah, but it's quite odd to me. They've gone, we're going to put out Last of Us Part 1 for PS5 and PC and not do PS4. I wonder if it's because they're going to do a whole new, they're going to do a whole remake for that as well, even though the Last of Us 2 looks pretty fucking good. So, anyway, we'll see how things go. So, let's get this underway. Summer Game Fest for 2022. It's literally on the same stage as it was for Gamescom Live, but
I'm Geoff Keighley, and this is Summer Game Fest, a live showcase of what's next in the
I should note while he's going into his opening babble that I believe, if I remember rightly, the ESA announced that E3 2023 will be returning. The E3 2023 will be online and in person. The interesting thing, though, of course, with E3 2023 is what they were going to do for 2020 is obviously a lot more of an influencer focused show with a lot more kind of focus on basically, all the kind of garbage that went along with that initial proposal. When was it? I think it was just after 2019. But that looks like it's returning, so, as much as E3, the ESA is shit, and as much as the E3 has been a real bit of a pain in the arse for the games industry in the fact that you know, it's an odd little beast, E3, because, as I said, you know, the ESA, which is a lobbying group for the games industry, you know, it's basically a big festival advertising thing, right? But, you know, it's also kind of the bombastic, you know, the legendary kind of atmosphere of E3. So it's tricky. It's tricky. So we're starting with Street Fighter 6, which of course we first saw on the State of Play, but apparently this is a world premiere of a new character for this game. Okay, here's back. Yeah. I mean, did we expect them to miss out Guile in Street Fighter 6? He and Ryu are the cornerstones of that franchise. I think I said on the State of Play that the potential open world aspect, you know, whether that be just a HUD or there's some actual stuff to do in the open world environment instead of just going fight to fight, it certainly looks interesting. And I like, you know, the difference in what we're seeing to the standard, you know, really over the top colours and stuff we would see from the standard. Street Fighter. I'm interested, but I've never really been a Street Fighter guy. I don't play any fighting games really. I think the only ones I properly touched were, I think, Soul Calibur, because it interested me a bit more than any of these could. I think it's the character creation in Soul Calibur almost got me. But anyway, first new game of the show. The 20th Century Fox game.
Our mission was to enter the Tantalus base, locate the comsat relay, and bring it back online. We found the relay, but there was a problem.
Get that door closed now, Private. Close that gate.
Should I? Oh, this is an Aliens game.
Willis, take the lead.
I think. Yeah, you can see by the is it the smart gun? Is that what they call it in Aliens?
Oh, this ain't good. What we found was...
I mean, it's been an interesting curve, hasn't it, for the Aliens games? Because what we had, the Alien vs Predator, I think it was like a action adventure game and had a really odd, apparently quite enjoyable multiplayer section. Then we had Colonial Marines, which of course was a massive dumpster fire. Then Alien Isolation, and what was the most recent one? Wasn't it Aliens Firestorm or something like that? It was like a person shooter. So the curve of Alien games has been up.
I don't know what I saw in there.
But it was just
I know.
crack of my chair for some reason.
I still
I hope this thing's not going to come out for Monday.
now everyone's dead.
I mean, the trailers, you know, trailers all cinematic. Like, reality is, you know, the cinematic trailers for Colonial Marines look good. You need to show some actual gameplay. Because too often, so Aliens Dark Descent. What the hell? That is not what I thought it was going to be.
was Aliens Dark Descent, and it's coming in 2023 to console and PC. Next, 2 years ago at the Game Awards, we revealed the Callisto Protocol from the creative forces behind the Dead Space franchise. Today, I am thrilled to get to show
Oh, okay. I think I said during State of Play, this is, you know, this does give me, you know,
First, here's the quote-unquote Schofield cut of the brand new trailer.
the fact that there was a lot of, you know, very atmospheric. I was like, oh, you know, Dead Space stuff. So clearly some of the team that are working on this now from Striking Distance Studios is made up of former Visceral people of in that case.
Take a look outside. Did you know that they call Callisto the dead moon? Dead. Just like you would have been if I hadn't fished you out of that wreck. So whatever you're holding on to right there, that's your old life. You gotta let that go. Because your new life is entirely in my hands. I'm just trying to give you a chance at rebirth.
I mean, it's certainly got that horror like vibe to it that the first Dead Space had. Just not massively enthused by horror games. I've never quite. It's a much like horror movie. I've never quite got them in terms of, you know. You know, I'm sure some people, you know, watch and play these kind of things because for the scares and stuff. But you know, I go into movies and video games to, you know, enjoy myself and have fun, and not be potentially about to fall backwards on my chair if some scary thing jumps out in front of me. Wow,
Welcome.
that's gore. They weren't wrong about the gore. I'm surprised it's coming out on other stuff. Given
What you wanted to see, and joining me now, Glenn Schofield, Striking Distance. Glenn, first of all, congratulations. This game looks absolutely incredible, and I gotta say,
I thought it was going to be a Sony exclusive.
This team, this studio, new IP, shipping this December, all in COVID, blows me away. So congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having us. I really do appreciate it, Geoff. And you know, for a second, just give me a second. You know, I want to thank you for all you've done for the game industry all these years, man. I think I've known you like 16, 17 years now, and you've been an ambassador. You've amplified new games, new studios, and I just wanted to thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Not about me, it's about you guys.
Yeah, I know, but
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's so fun to do these shows and to show this game. So people saw the trailer, but what I'm so excited today is that you just brought a raw gameplay sequence. This game is in development, and people are going to be blown away, I think, when they see it. But tell us a bit about what are we going to see today?
yeah, we got a couple minutes of, like you said, like raw gameplay. It's 2 segments in the first half of the game.
Yeah.
One is a med bay.
I'm not really sure about. As I said, it's got that.
New enemies, some brutality.
It's really got that.
Just about everything. We're showcasing a new
That,
weapon called Grip. It's a gravity gun.
Dead Space, you know, horror vibe to it, obviously.
It rips them apart.
But I'm just not sure about,
And then check out
you
the,
know, about this entire.
you know, we usually will kill our main character Jacob, and in a very unique way. And just for a second, I want to thank the team, man. Like you said, through COVID, through everything else.
I mean, it certainly looks graphically impressive, and the level of gore they're going for is
Glenn, I got to say, again,
very
you
impressive.
guys are shipping
And the fact, you know, they've managed to do it all during,
next-gen game.
you know, lockdowns and pandemic and all that kind of stuff is very, very impressive.
Let's let the footage speak for itself. Ben Schofield.
But
Here it is, the first gameplay of the Callisto Protocol.
just not kind of really, because it's horror. Don't really care. I'm sure there was some that absolutely, enthralled by this kind of thing, but I'm just not one of them blokes, I'm afraid. Capture on next-gen hardware. Is it going to be one of those situations like we saw with Cyberpunk? I mean, you can tell the weapon is quite clearly... Again, what worked with weapon style in Dead Space? I mean, I like that there seems to be much more of an emphasis on melee combat. Because that was always, from what I saw from, watching friends of mine and, just general kind of footage on the online of Dead Space... it was very much a case of stay back, use your, whatever the gun was called, use your weapon to try and pick off the enemies, aliens, zombies, whatever they were in Dead Space, before they reach you. Because if they reach you, you're absolutely buggered. I would be interested to see, actually, thinking about it. Given, of course, we've got, this is some former members of Visceral, with their first game, being a horror title similar to what they've worked on before. I wonder if we will see with Skydance. Of course, Skydance are not only making a Marvel game, but they're also making. I think they've agreed to. Good grief! God, that Christ.
That just happened. All right, moving on. This October, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 arrives. Infinity Ward is once again returning to its roots.
So Skydance have set to make not only a Marvel game, but also a Star Wars game, both narrative-driven action-adventure titles. I'd be very interested to see if Amy Hennig went, screw it, let's go and make Ragtag. Because, EA said no, but we're going to make it.
Everyone, in 2019, Modern Warfare changed everything. And on October 28th,
Did it?
we usher in a new era of Call of Duty.
Did it change everything? Because I'm pretty sure he just went, hey, let's use the same name and do the same thing we've been doing for the past 10, 15 years.
Price, Gaz, Soap, Alejandro, and of course, Ghost. We needed a stage big enough to debut
Alejandro?
in a whole new way.
I don't remember. I remember Roach, Ghost, Soap, and Price from Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 2, even.
Staggering odds are just the beginning. Here is Modern Warfare 2.
Are they? I was going to say, surely they're not just going to redo a Modern Warfare 2 mission.
We board, clear, disarm that missile. Be ready for anything. This could be a trap. Actual, we're set.
Copy, get to work.
Good hook. Up and at 'em.
I mean, certainly looks like a COD game, doesn't it?
Cut right clear through.
Probably plays like one as well. Given they've literally recycled. I mean, obviously they've recycled the names because they ran out of ideas.
Room clear. Coming out.
I wonder if this version of Modern Warfare 2 would do the same thing the remake of Modern Warfare or the new Modern Warfare did, and that's be just awful in terms of like some. When I mean awful, I mean the whole thing surrounding those games are so pro torture, it's unreal. I mean, the entire Call of Duty series is very, very, pro war, pro American exceptionalism, and all that kind of stuff, So,
Ghost, we're moving to the main deck. What's your status? Boarding the ship with Shadow 3 now. Roger that.
I mean, nothing. The thing about the original, Modern Warfares is that, multiplayer-wise, nothing will top them. 1v1 me on Rust and, and on Container and, what was I think my favourite map on Modern Warfare 2 was Favela. It was just carnage when you got to that central courtyard.
They're gonna launch that missile. It's first stage. There's still time. All shadows. Missile is on the helipad. 2-1. We're moving to secure. Cover us. 2 copies all.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, if they're launching a nuke in this game, is it going to be the same thing as the original Modern Warfare 2, where literally Price sets off a nuke because reasons? Wasn't it? I think it was over the US Eastern Seaboard, I think it was. And you see the whole thing from space. I mean, as I said, it's certainly looks good. I mean, but you could say that about the last couple of Call of Duties. They've all looked pretty good.
Where are the controls?
On that damn ship. Actual, we got a problem. Missile is somewhere on the ship.
You have your orders, son. Stop that launch.
And that's meant to be this game's Shepherd, I'm guessing.
Let's move out. Ghost, this is 0-1 back in the water. Inbound to your position.
Solid copy. We're taking effective fire. The LZ will be hot.
Roger that. Once we're on deck, we push to the bridge. Fast. Secure those controls. Stop this missile. Yep. How's the way forward? Take the ramp. Hold tight, Sergeant.
I'm very nonplussed by any new COD, really, because I just don't care, really. I mean, saw a bit of pop in there from one of those enemies.
Alejandro, maintain overwatch from the ring. We're forcing up. Copy that.
Come back from shotgun. Are they just gonna be? Looks like a kind of a little bit of a mix of the older classic Modern Warfare 2 guns and the kind of modern stuff, which is all going to control the same and be wildly overpowered in multiplayer. This is these are the kind of stuff I don't like about Geoff Keighley's events. Like the one he did for Gamescom had this massive section for Death Stranding director's cut, and I'm like, I don't give a toss, and B, wasn't the original meant to be the director's cut? So it just ended up being literally just an opportunity for them to sell you racetracks and the ability to listen to music in your cabin area. Well done, Hideo Kojima. But yeah, I mean, Geoff Keighley can have his moments, but you know, we mustn't forget. You know, and sometimes I'm guilty of forgetting this too. That, you know, what he's most known for is, you know, giving pretty much nothing but positive, nothing but positive. I don't want to say propaganda, but positive coverage is probably the best way to put it, of them, especially the AAA publishers. Of especially the AAA publishers, you know, is good when it comes to the smaller indie games, right? Oh my giddy aunt doodahs. I'm going to have to go back and see how many studios were on that, because there were 7 on
Joining us now, up from Long Beach, Johanna, great to see you. How's everything?
It's great. Thanks.
what was the what was the last one? I can't remember what the last one was, but there were 7 studios working on that game, so obviously
Absolutely. So,
there is,
first of all,
you know,
we're really excited to welcome back Captain John Price and Gaz Garrick. You know, they're not actually in what we just saw today, but they're returning members from 141, and then the other 2 characters that you may recognize from the older franchise that we're reimagining are Simon Ghost Riley and of course Soap John McTavish. And then a couple other new characters in here that we're really excited that we got to create for this game. First, Commander Philip Graves and Mexican Special Forces Colonel Alejandro. And Alejandro, I gotta say, it's a character we're really excited about. He's a guy who's super capable and a guy who's just as important as Task Force 141. But as far as the level's concerned, you know, I got a shout out to IW. You know, this was a tremendous collaboration across all of the different disciplines. As you saw, everybody.
It's a ridiculous number of studios working on these COD games. It's mental.
And, you know, you saw the wind and the
like, honestly, man, honestly.
Sound design, and of course our new water tech, which is actually pushing the boat in different directions. It's creating a physically dynamic environment, allowing for the cover you were seeing. In certain cases, you could be behind cover, and then suddenly that cover would shift and leave you exposed, but it also leaves the enemy exposed, creating this emergent gameplay. So again, I'm very excited. Just can't wait. I'm so excited that we get to show it off today.
And that's just a hint of where things are going to go. Johanna, tell us a bit about Call of Duty overall. Modern Warfare 2, obviously, you know, we're so excited that it's back this year, but you've got lots going on across Call of Duty. What can we expect from you guys this year?
Yeah, we first of all, thanks for having us here. We're just so excited for October 28th. It's such a big moment, not just for Modern Warfare 2 and everything that Geoff and the team at
I wonder how many of them are waiting on the processing of the purchase by Microsoft, which of course it's kind of up in the air at the moment, given the I think it was I can't remember what the name of the US department is, but it's like the like anti-competitive thing. I can't remember what it is, but it's like I think a lot of people that care about what goes on within game companies are hoping that Microsoft do get their hands on Activision, because that place needs a serious sort out. Oh God, wasn't a mobile? Good grief! Yeah, you know, Activision and Blizzard need a serious sort out because they're all cesspits right now.
Showing gameplay here on this, but can you tell us anything? It seems like there was a little bit of a tease maybe in the trailer yesterday.
Yeah, when we're seeing that from the community, we love.
What's quite interesting, actually, I haven't talked about this before, about the Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard. What's really interesting is that, you know, Microsoft are buying a company that has some of the most overused franchises in video games. Candy Crush, through King, Call of Duty. There's also obviously Warcraft, World of Warcraft. Like the amount of mad stuff, you know, that overuse those stuff, and how much was it? Almost $70 billion, I think it was, Microsoft shelled out to buy that. It's mad. But, you know, if they can change the internal culture, good. Because it needs sorting out with Activision. Okie dokie. It's not... I was going to say not Serious Sam, but... Sam's always been a first-person shooter. It's not clicking for me, I'll be honest. Flashback 2. Never heard of it. It's interesting that the primary thing it's spawning out of looks like an Xbox.
Back in 2017, we announced Witchfire at the Game Awards. Almost 5 years later, I am so excited. The team at the Astronauts in Poland has put together an in-depth look at the gameplay of this dark fantasy first-person shooter.
So this is Witchfire.
Access soon. I am so excited to play this. I bet you will be too as you see this.
Okay, an FPS with fantasy witchcraft elements. Could be quite cool. That's on the proviso that the different. I was going to say as on the proviso that the different, you know, abilities that you can use. It's not just the same ones every time, and that you can, you know, make different builds. If you're forced into stuff, then that's, you know, you don't want to be forced into using stuff that just, you know, doesn't mesh with your playstyle. But certainly looked pretty. Okie dokie. So using the Unreal Engine and on the Epic Games Store.
Okay, next up comes an ambitious new game from a new independent studio in Europe, starring some very familiar names. Enjoy this world premiere new game announcement.
What's this next one then?
Professor Taylor, Medlog 29.
I think that's Troy Baker's voice, I think.
Today, I can't believe what I saw.
Solis, everything okay in there?
Well, his doors going on, opening, closing all in my house today. They've got some decent voice acting talent. I mean, it's another horror game.
Something's going on here.
Fort Solus.
That's something brand new, and look who it is. Troy and Roger.
Yeah, Troy Baker.
Guys, this is so fun. The fact that you're working on a game together. What a cool team up. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
I got to ask you guys, who are your characters in this game?
Well, I get to play a character named Wyatt Taylor, who's a medical officer who's stationed at this base, Fort Solace. And it's the epicenter of this mystery that we'll discover and uncover as we go through the game. And of course, my character will be, at times, in opposition with Roger's character.
Battle we've been waiting to see.
Everyone's yeah. Oh man, we can't wait to show you what we've been working on. By the way, Geoff, this looks awesome, man.
Yeah,
It's so great to be here. Thanks for having us.
It's so great that you're in another game. It's feel like this is your first game since Red Dead 2.
One of the first major ones for a while, and I play a character by the name of Jack Leary. He's a maintenance engineer on a remote Martian mining post.
Okay.
His job is to make sure that none of the equipment breaks down while it's on their graveyard shift. The graveyard shift meaning Mars and Earth are really far apart from each other and their orbits around the sun. So help is not...
I'd be quite interested to know the way that the
it's a new team, right? Independent studio.
the way these studios pitch the ideas to
I will say that 2020 to me
To
was
games.
the most impactful year for games. It was the first, I mean, obviously we had this unprecedented event with the pandemic and that forced the way that we...
because obviously the thing is,
society, but also the way this industry functioned. But it was also...
obviously there's the
more tools that were being made available that were leveling the...
voice actors pay.
the AAA studios and the indie studios.
So it kind of already limits, and especially someone like Troy Baker on Nolan North that's been in so many games.
Brand new studio said we'd like for you to consider being a part of this game, and he walked me through a very brief description of what the experience was going to be like. And in the very beginning, he said, "We want this to feel it's a tight thriller. We want it to feel like Dead Space meets Duncan Jones' Moon." And I was like, "Sign me up. I'm into that, absolutely."
And full performance capture and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Full performance cap, crikey.
Brand new
So,
energy. And
I look so clearly a bit of studio with some backing behind. They're going to do full motion capture and afford these two lads.
In action. I know I love to work, and I love the challenges and all the new innovations that this medium provides to performers. We can't wait to show you what we've been working on. I think it's going to.
Yeah, I guess I've seen some of the behind the scenes and the.
It's quite interesting what Troy says that obviously it could be a case of just
Yeah, the verbs are always important. So we're going to let the game speak for itself. We'll be showing you more later on, but
it could very much be a case of Troy talking up the title because obviously he's in it.
Thriller. So you're moving very fast paced.
But it's interesting that he says that he was asked to do it and was given a brief synopsis. It didn't seem like, at least the way he put it, that they were talked about his character.
If I can, it was one of our favorite moments. There is a lot of action in this game, and that was at the forefront of this. And to speak to the performance capture aspect, we brought in an incredible, I got to give him a shout out to Nathaniel, our stunt coordinator, who walked us through and really approached this in a completely different way than anything I've ever done before. And he says, "I want to know the story of this fight." And so Roger and I sat down, we said, "These are where our characters are." And he goes, "Give me 1 hour and I will come back to you with the story of this fight." And after an hour, he comes to us and he goes, it was like a recovery program. It was 12 steps. And he walked us through this incredible fight. And about halfway through it, I started tuning him out. And I was like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know I've got no ego about this, but I can do a lot of things, but I can't do this." And he grabbed me by my shoulders and he says, "Oh, you can, you will, and it's going to be glorious."
And we
And we
did.
did.
It's like a dance. It was a lot of trust, and it worked out.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
big,
excited.
Big stunts. I mean, this is so cool to see. It's an independent studio doing this, teaming up with you guys. We can't wait to see
Indie studio as well. As I said, they must have some serious backing beyond to afford these two blokes. Honestly.
Next up, keeping up with the space theme, it's time to world premiere a very exciting new game, which will feature a musical score by industry legend Mick Gordon. This one is going to grab you, and we are so honored to debut it.
So it's a sci-fi. This is a world premiere. Says It's not an established IP, so brand new. I'm getting more sci-fi horror aspects here, gang. That's what I'm getting from this. I was gonna say you're walking down a tube station in London, middle of the night, but it's a bit too sci-fi for a London tube station. Okie dokie. So that's Routine.
Doesn't that look great? That was Routine coming to Xbox and PC. It was first announced a decade ago and is now officially back.
Jesus.
Now it's time to
So
check
2012.
out our special
Now,
guest who's been in his fair share of
Geoff,
video games, including most recently Fortnite.
you might not want to say that, lad, because
Welcome to Summer Game
instantly my mind goes to, oh my god, Rock just standing in his gym. Fuck me.
Best audiences live streaming right now around the world and everybody inside the epic IMAX theaters. Dwayne Johnson here coming at you from my Iron Paradise, the very hot and sweaty and smelly Iron Paradise.
I mean,
powered by, of course,
let's-
Solar Energy, the number one fast
Jesus. Let's talk about Routine while Dwayne's doing his whole merch thing.
in Spanish, Uncle Hanson,
Now,
man alive, big drink energy.
I have worries about a game that disappeared a decade ago and has come back, because my mind instantly goes to Duke Nukem Forever.
Greatest and most electrifying
Now,
in gaming that happened.
I'm trying to think of an example of a game that was in development hell for an awfully long time, came out and was good. I mean, is there...
Epic Games
I can't think of one. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I might be missing one really obvious, but I can't think of one that, was in development for at least a decade and a half, disappeared, and then came back and came out good. I don't know if I'm missing something,
powers of Superman.
but I just...
Only difference, well, there's a few differences, but one of the biggest differences is Superman's weakness is magic, and Black Adam's one of his superpowers is magic. So you do the math.
Right.
October 21st, I cannot wait for you guys to see Black Adam around the world in theaters only, and you guys will finally see.
I wonder how many movies Dwayne Johnson works on in the average year. Because I swear like every 2 weeks or something, this dude's doing a new promo about a new movie.
It is a role that's in my DNA and that I was born to play. I was born to play the Man in Black, and I'm honored to show it to you guys on October 21st. So until then, stay healthy, stay safe, stay focused, keep having fun, keep kicking ass, enjoy your gaming, and I'll see you down the road. This is Black Adam.
Okay, Dwayne. It's a bit of...
What have your powers ever given to you?
Because they're a bit of
Nothing but heartache.
his new movie trailer. Oh God, Pierce Brosnan, really? Oh God.
Then I was reborn a god. Now, I kneel before no one.
You can be the destroyer of this world.
It's very interesting that, like, 'cause obviously, E3 is not famed, but it's certainly been a fixture of it for a couple of years in trying to get celebrities and stuff to appear to, get the games industry into the mainstream. And there was clearly a pan and go, oh shit. Can we get Rock? That's probably Outriders DLC. Captured in engine, not actual game footage. So was it Outriders something or other? I mean, Outriders. I was interested with Outriders before it came out because it seemed like an interesting RPG. But it's unsurprisingly, I should have realised. Should have thought this before it came out. A grind fest and a half. I also like that apparently they did a press event for Outriders, right? I think it was mid-21 or something like that. And obviously, people capturing game footage. Everyone was at home because of the pandemic, and there was apparently a graphical error, a graphical bug that was affecting the game. And I think it was Square Enix. I think it's a Square Enix game, if I remember right. They were like, look. To a lot of the creators that participated, look, we're sorry about this, but you're not going to be able to use any of the footage that features the graphical bug. And a lot of the creators went, well, hang on a minute, that's all of the footage of the game. So, yeah, you can't use it. Basically, costing themselves loads of free PR. So just a variety of Switch games. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3, that was Splatoon 3, the arcade collection. Oh no, Fall Guys. Oh good grief. Oh good grief. Should mention, while we've got this lull in the action, we're going to be covering this year's EGX, another game event, of course, which is, a lot more indie-centric. We're going to be covering that this year, and hopefully they won't have the god-awful Virgin Media Fall Guys booth like they had last year, which is my least favourite part of that entire show, was that blooming thing. I'm sure none of you that, I'm sure most of you that weren't there don't know what I'm talking about. If you look at it around, from about what happened at that EGX last year, it was god awful. It was such a horrible thing. It took so much space as well. I've never really wanted. I've never got the thing to try Fall Guys, really, because it just doesn't appeal to me.
All right, back to another new game announcement. We're going to announce a brand new game and universe from a new team of legendary developers. Check this out.
Who's this thing, Keighley? Legendary developers, you say? Frost Giant Studios, okay. I'm pretty sure we had a Frost Giant game on the I think it was on the limited games run. I think one of their games is getting a physical release or something like that, if I remember rightly. So it's obviously got some fantasy elements, along with kind of sci-fi tech stuff. So it's like, I was gonna say just looks like some, I mean, average demon final boss. Or looks like one of the monsters you'd see in the now dead Evolve. Again, I'm getting nothing from this because it's just a cinematic trailer.
Glad you could make it.
We gotta move. Now. There's a storm coming. Hell's coming with it.
Stormgate. Okie dokie.
There you have it, Tim. Congratulations. Stormgate is real. We have a name and some details. So, first of all,
I like he says it's real. What is it? I ain't got a clue.
brand new franchise. What is a Stormgate, though?
All right, so Stormgates are portals that open during a massive solar storm that unleash the infernal host on future Earth.
Okay. And we saw some hints of some. I mean, you know, you guys coming from Blizzard and StarCraft, everyone wants to know about races. You know, tell us about the sides in this RTS game.
Yeah, we're unveiling.
Oh, it's an RTS.
today, but there will be more. So the human resistance, and we saw archaeologists from the human resistance in that intro cinematic, and then also the infernal hosts, who are these demon-like monsters who come from another world.
I think one thing everyone wants to know about, especially your background pedigree of the team.
Where the hell's my... I'm trying to find my notes and stuff. There it is.
We've all loved for decades.
My note disappeared for a second there.
A lot of innovation. I know you're going to show us, I think, some hints of where you're going to go image-wise with the actual gameplay made in Unreal Engine, but any sense of what you want to do for the gameplay in this game?
Absolutely. But the first thing I want to say is we are very consciously trying to stay true to what players already love about RTS, where we're really trying to push the genre and be innovative.
Thinking about it, actually, it's kind of form for this team to put out some, you know, cinematic trailer to some cinematic trailer for some bloody for some RTS thing, because that's like, in fact, of all of Blizzard's games, they rely on cinematic trailers to sell it because, you know, compare it to the games they actually release, it's mental. You know, obviously it's, you know, that goes for a lot of different titles in RTS, but I think it's especially for former Blizzard and stuff like that, which I find very, very funny.
A brand new RTS franchise coming from you guys and your background and what you did, you know, Blizzard and StarCraft. We're so excited about this team, Frost Giant. Thank you so much for giving us your announcement today on Summer Game Fest.
Thank you so much for
Thank you for this announcement. Thank you for giving us literally nothing.
Stormgate, keep an eye out for it. Now it's time for another indie game announcement that I'm excited to share with you. High Water. Check this one out.
Good morning, High Water Dwellers. High Water Pirate Radio keeping you in the know without flow.
Okay.
Local authorities continue to deny false rumors that Alphaville elites are planning to evacuate to Mars. True or not, the one thing we can't deny is that the world ended on a sunny day.
Okie dokie. Concept is immediately interesting. On an Earth post global warming, so everything's sunk below the waterline. Okay. Certainly a quite intriguing art style. Splicing in. Seems the I would presume this is like an I've forgotten the word. I did this during the Limit Games thing. I've completely forgotten the words.
What a breathtaking trailer. High Water is an adventure strategy game.
Adventure strategy. I was gonna go strategy RPG.
Conflict in Ukraine is not far from
Is what I was gonna go.
games, including replaced from Sad Cat Studios, a Belarusian studio with devs from Belarus and Ukraine. The team had long hoped to reveal a new trailer here today, but were understandably unable to complete it in time. Guys, I just want to say we're thinking of you and all the developers impacted by the conflict, and hope to be able to share your work at a future show. Alright, our next game is an official selection of the Tribeca Games Festival. It's American Arcadia, where you play Trevor, whose life is being televised.
I think I've seen this.
Voting you up or down. When you become
I think I've seen like a clip of this somewhere.
start running for your life. Check this out.
Picture a city where technology and science go hand in hand with fun and entertainment.
My grandfather, Elijah Walton, had a dream to build the city of tomorrow. That dream is now a reality.
Okay, so the art style they're using for the trailers is certainly kind of, again, a different, really
A 43 square mile metropolis.
quite simplistic in the fact they're not going for like defined facial features. It's just, you know, two dots for eyes and
24 hours a day,
a mouth.
7 days a week on every digital platform. American Arcadia. Control. Subject on the run on camera 4025. Interrupt broadcast immediately.
So I think you describe us as a...
We can't allow Trevor Hills to escape under any
Oh, I'm just thinking, I wonder if this is from the...
Trevor, can you hear me?
Oh, what's the name of the team?
Don't worry. I'm going to get you out of there.
No, I don't think it is, but I'm just thinking the similar to like Limbo or Inside Out.
Apparently we've made it to the beach. Next up is a sequel we've all been anticipating for a long time. There's Trouble in Paradise. Watch out. You don't want to get bitten. After many years of rumors, we finally get an update on this much anticipated sequel.
Okay. Character models are... Oh no. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I worried this would happen. I was nervous this would ever see the light. Oh my God, it's number 3. I thought we were only on Goat Sim 2. Oh Christ, on a bike. Oh God.
There you have it. That was Goat Simulator 3, and it's coming later this year to the Epic.
Oh no.
Now, last year, Marvel and 2K announced Marvel's Midnight Suns, a tactical RPG from Firaxis Games the studio behind XCOM and Civilization.
Right, Midnight Sun's an interesting one because again, I mentioned it a couple of times. It was it debuted on the Gamescom opening night stream, and all it showed was a cinematic trailer. Obviously, you know, it was by 4-Axis. It's is it an action strategy RPG? I think it was described as. This is literally just a character reveal. So Venom. That. I don't know who that's. Greenfire. I thought it was that Goblin? No, it can't be. Oh shit, that's just the baddie who's just chasing Venom down. Venom. I was going to say Venom and Spider-Man.
Typical Parker luck. I'm gonna need some backup.
That's that voice actor is Yuri, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. The guy who voices Spider-Man in Spider-Man PS4. Oh, sorry, Marvel Spider-Man, as we got to call it now, considering it's coming. It's out on PS5 as a remaster, and it's coming remastered later this year to the PC. Not sure about that suit, I'll be perfectly honest. So Venom and Spidey are in Midnight Suns. Cuphead in the Delicious Last Course. Probably DLC for Cuphead. Yeah, I was going to say Cuphead DLC.
So first of all, Maya, it's really coming?
It's really coming June 30th on all major platforms.
Well, I'm so thrilled too that I think all the fans can't believe that this is here. And I've been lucky enough to play this actually on my Steam Deck last week, and you guys gave me a copy. I can't. People are not going to be ready for how amazing this looks and the backgrounds and what you guys have done. I feel like you've.
Cuphead's one of those titles I always meant to give a go, but I know just given how frustrating it can be, I don't want it because I don't want my anger to get the better of me to chuck my Switch or my Xbox or my PS4 controller across the room. So I said maybe give it a miss.
And of course, a new playable character, Miss Chalice. I'm very proud of her.
But new playable characters and all that kind of stuff is wicked.
And even though this is a DLC, it feels like it's its own game inside of Cuphead in many ways.
It is, definitely.
Yeah, you just get on the island, and there you are off to this new territory, which is
yeah, it's our biggest island yet. Super-sized bosses, lots of secrets to discover. Don't let any rock go unturned.
Yes, and lots of challenge ahead. Well, I know you brought. I know you don't want people to necessarily have too much spoiled about the game, but you brought a little something.
A little something, yeah. It's brand new gameplay footage of one of our new bosses, Mortimer Freeze. It takes place in an icy arena and features some of my personal favorite attacks and transformations. We hope everyone enjoys it.
All right, let's check it out. Cuphead, the Delicious Last Course. Next file.
All of these seem to end so awkwardly. I mean, obviously it looks lovely, you know. The whole Cuphead as a game, you know, regardless of how frustrating it is, it's a gorgeous game. It's what was it, 20? want to say 2017, 2018, I think it was, when we first got a look at Cuphead. I think it was on the E3 Xbox stream. I think it might have been alongside We Happy Few, actually, when that demo... No, it must have been 2016 in that case. I was like, this looks amazing. I think at that point it was a standard 2D platformer instead of the boss rush side scroller it became.
Now, if you want even more Cuphead, and who doesn't, tomorrow we will show you an exclusive look at Season 2 of the Cuphead show when I co-host Netflix's Geek Week, which will include new show and game announcements.
Yeah, that Netflix Geek Week is I think we're gonna do a bit of a summary of that and the Devolver Digital. Yeah, the Devolver Digital. We're gonna do a bit of we're gonna do a roundup of that and the Gate, because the thing is about the Gate is I don't really care about the shows that come out. I'm just more interested in what we see for
We have some exciting news for Nintendo Switch and PC fans.
From the games, really.
From hell, who slays demons with a chance to ascend to heaven.
Let's see this then. Right, already I'm liking just that little snippet. Lovely looking art direction. I think that's weapons vary on the card you're holding. If that's procedurally generated cards, then you know, endless replayability. This looks really, really good. I like the look of this a lot.
10 days here. You mission from Almighty.
You think you can win me over by showering me with gifts? Good thinking.
The world's... Like, this is what Mirror's Edge did so well. Having the white backgrounds and then just chucking colour into the, you know... The, so it's neon white. That looks really, really cool. That looks like my kind of alley. But you know what I mean? Like with the white environment, any colour, any, you know, blood effects or anything like that really pop and looks amazing. Yeah, Night Fight Express. I was talking about this on the limited run stream on Monday night, and I love the look of this little title.
You know the saying, get knocked down, get up again, that whole spiel. Well, it's time, partner. Time to rise up. Together.
It's mad that this is made by one bloke.
It's happening. The big guy's actually going through with it. While I sat at his side, seeing lives as dollar signs, I had the stink of corruption all over me. And you know who put it there? Nah, not him. Me. Well, I ain't wearing it anymore. Neither are you. Tonight, we wash this whole damn city down.
So August next year.
Such a cool game. I'm happy to announce that a PC demo of this game is going live right now on Steam and will be
Oh, okay, PC demo.
Fest next week. I really want more playable games to get in the hands of you guys at home, and that's one of them.
So Warframe.
Joining me now is Megan from Digital Extremes to talk all things Warframe. Megan, how you doing?
I'm so good. My fellow Canadian.
I know. We got a lot. We just happen to always have these Canadian teams on the show. I don't know how that works out, right?
Okay.
We do. Well, we have a great connection. We've also done a lot with Warframe over the years, and I know right now anyone watching on Twitch for more than 30 minutes, this show is going to get a special Twitch drop, right?
That's right. I already have seen people getting it, so
Yes.
it's very exciting. She's right there, loud and proud. Protea, 30 minutes for watching. Thank you for letting us kind of take over your special events category, but she is there and she is for you if you are properly linked up.
No, Warframe, you know, as I said, we've done a lot over the years. You guys have done incredible things with the game, and I know you have TennoCon coming up in July.
It's mad that the first time we saw Warframe was, I think, 2013. On the,
July 16th, 2020.
I want to say on the PS4.
Actually, we just launched the digital items for it.
When that was, I think PS4 was announced or like first shown. I think in 2013. I think it was. But mad that, you know, almost a decade on, it's still going strong. I mean, it means, you know, it's fair fucks to the Warframe team for still, you know, bringing new stuff to this when, you know, I think it's got microtransactions, so obviously that's about it, right? But fair play to them for keeping this going, because, you know, any, you know, major publishers and some developers would have gone, right, you know, let's bring out a sequel. Let's bring out a sequel. Let's, you know, make people buy the game again, all that kind of stuff.
My child, my friend.
Well, they kept supporting their title. They've kept kind of adding new layers to it. So.
New choices await us now.
This is I was too busy talking to listen. I'm obviously not good at multitasking. So there's a new title? It's just a bit of expanded stuff for Warframe. I missed it.
We were, and of who we have become.
Warframe, the Deruvi Paradox.
Space RPG, yeah, a lot of space today, from Genshin Impact Studio, Hoyoverse, across mobile and PC.
Right. Oh God.
Continues to deliver, and this new trailer reveals for the very first time a new and exotic realm players will be able to explore.
You can say they gave a lot of time in the GameCon opening night to Genshin Impact. I'm glad he admitted, yeah, there's a lot of sci-fi on this show. Like a lot of those titles, though, it's like, I think that counts as a JRPG. I think a lot of kind of cinematic stuff and no real gameplay. So no comment. So that same team is bringing out another one, Xeno's Zero Zone, Xeno's Zone Zero even.
It's a futuristic urban action game. I have to say, I'm blown away by what I've seen so far. It was announced a couple weeks ago, and it has the detail of Genshin Impact with a fast-paced action style. Here is the world premiere of a brand new look at Zenless's notable characters, armed enemies, and world of danger.
So obviously showing a lot of kind of just character stuff. A lot of acrobatic like attacks and stuff like that, and at least it looks like from this little trailer, kind of a bit of, you know, obviously decent variation of the combat given on the character you select. The fact that little thing said "Welcome to Shop" is concerning.
Last year was TMNT Shredder's Revenge, which reminds us all of the Turtles arcade games back in the day. Well, it's nearing the end of development, and the team wanted to use SGF as a way to reveal one exciting aspect of the game they've been keeping under wraps until now.
So this is a game that there's already been quite a decent amount of actually shown already, to be fair. Oh, a new character. Okay. If I retained any memory other than memories of watching it from the TMNT cartoon when I was a kid, I would know who that is, but I don't. Six-player mode. Oh, okay, that's nifty. Interesting that they've gone. Let's, you know, we've got 6 characters in this game. Actually, they haven't. They've got 7 characters in this game. Available next week, I think that is. Yeah, available this time next week. I think I saw this. Oh no, it's not. I was confusing because I think a recent Sony advert at that, or Sony PlayStation advert had that thing of like knocking over chess pieces and stuff like that, but. So you've got all these characters, but what are they in? Because if you just go, hey, this is the name of the game. Huh? So I'm getting guns, but with superpowers. Or a shooter where the characters also have superpowers. Super people. It is that. New Civ expansion. Oh, man, humankind. I was gonna say, I thought I heard the what's it? What's the is it Hall of the Mad Mountain King or whatever it's called, the Kevin MacLeod track, or the classical track that's used.
How far will you push humankind?
Yeah, so it's literally just the humankind advert.
Humankind allows you to shape your civilization by combining a multitude of historical civilizations from the ancient.
Yeah, but it's just civilization.
One Piece is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, and Bandai Namco is bringing the mega popular franchise back to video games with One Piece Odyssey. Monkey D. Luffy and his crew of pirates are off on their next adventure. This trailer reveals the setting, a mysterious island where Luffy and his Straw Hat crew become marooned in this exciting upcoming JRPG.
The Straw Hat Pirates journeying along the Grand Line.
見ろよ、あの島。でけえ塔がいっぱい立ってる。空に伸びてるあの光はなんだ。よし、面白そうだ。行ってみよう。
ちょっと待ってるし。変な形の積乱雲がすごい速度で増えてる。
Certainly a way to start off your trailer, guys. Go. Let's not waste time with the preamble. Let's just do some mad shit. Which part of me respects, to be fair. Going, let's not fuck around. Let's just do mad bollocks here. Oh, the Nick Grim Van Dango's lead. They transport him to make him a parrot. A parrot? A pirate. What a brain. I would, now saying that though, I would quite like to see a parrot version of the Grim Fandango main character. I can't remember his name now.
Filled with new encounters and hidden mysteries. Unravel the adventure that awaits.
So of course, trekking through different environments, it's a fucking JRPG. One would have expected that.
One Piece Odyssey.
Interesting that they're skipping the Xbox One. It's just Steam, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 4 and 5. Interesting.
From Atlas launches, and we've got your first listen to the English voice cast with this quick new look.
Okay, so this is an Atlas game. I didn't know what the title's called. It's Atlas, so obviously it's a JRPG. I presume, by the way, that Atlas have learnt their lesson from what they tried to do a couple of years ago.
Take my hand. You get one more chance to make things right. So that's our mission then. Save the world.
Certainly an Atlas game. Soul Hackers 2. Not a clue, gang.
The epic mega sale is going on right now.
Wow. As if we didn't already have enough, like, as if this wasn't already enough of a fucking advertisement. They're like, hey, let's throw an actual ad read in this.
Be sure to claim your copy before the sale ends on June 16th. Tune into the Epic Games Store Twitch channel for our summer showcase on June 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We're taking a look at new announcements and updates from PC titles heading to the store this year and beyond.
Psychonauts 2, Tunic. Oh, it's a GOG advert.
You nuts?
Oh, Samsung Gaming Hub. Oh. I thought it was going to be given the... Also, I was like, oh god, it's a GOG advert. But no, it's Samsung getting on the gaming market. Well, making a telly that just streams games and stuff like that. But anyway. That kind of comes with the territory, Sony. No downloads. Yeah, I presume there'd be no streaming limits. So we've got Capcom. Are they doing some kind of classic collection for the Switch and the collections and stuff? Arcade Stadium 2. Okie dokie. It can't just be me that is made to laugh by the song Brand New Game playing in the background as literally it's nothing but a collection of old games. Mario Strikers Battle League.
In this no-holds-barred, soccer-ish sport, chaos reigns supreme. So prepare to do whatever it takes to claim victory. So much fun, it hurts. Mario Strikers.
I mean, to be fair, I'm looking to try this out because the thing is that the original, what was it? Mario.
Hi, my name is Carl, and
oh, what was it?
You know, games where the music's really good, you feel compelled to move and shoot.
Oh, what was the?
But what if you had to? In Metal,
Mario, was it Mario Strikers? Was the football game? Was the Mario football game that I think came out first on the GameCube, and they did another one for the Wii, I think it was.
Isn't mandatory, we do recommend it. Our demo is live now on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation platforms, so go check it out and slay to the beat.
Okay. Oh, is this? There was a game a couple of years ago that caught my eyes up. Again, it had a heavy metal soundtrack, and was like a rhythm FPS. I was like, it actually looked quite interesting. Okay. I'm not a metalhead by any sense of the word, but I can appreciate, you know, good syncing between music and gameplay. You know, whether it be small moments like the moment in 2016's Doom, where you're in the elevator going towards Mars. The elevator opens up on the last bit of the song, and the shotgun is loaded, ready to fire. Metal Hellsinger.
That one was Metal Hellsinger, coming later this year from Funcom, a rhythm shooter with metal music. And right now, as I mentioned, a demo has launched on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Definitely worth a look.
Next up,
especially with the demo.
Game launches tomorrow. The Quarry from Supermassive Games. This spiritual successor to Until Dawn stars David Arquette and an all-star cast.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people playing the Quarry. in the last few days.
Shapes your story and determines who lives and who dies at a camp in upstate New York. Here's the first look at the launch trailer.
I think they said it was spiritual secret, didn't they?
If your whole family, you know, like every last one of them decided to jump down the bottom of a well, and they're all just hanging on the end of the rope. How can one person be expected to pull them all back out? You can't. So you pull on that rope and you're just going to fall right down to the bottom of the well with the rest of them. And what's the point of that?
What? There is a lot more to this than you realize.
Like what?
Kidnapping, murder, cover-ups. I think the whole Hackett family is in on it.
Yes, I think I remember seeing trailers of this. Yeah.
Goddamn clue.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely. I've seen trailers for this, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Then.
Who should I call?
911.
You mean 911? Who says 911?
Goodbye, cruel world.
Yeah, it's again like Until Dawn, like a similar type of title, I think.
This isn't a ghost story. It's a creature feature. It's really happening, and you're all in it.
This is gonna get a little messy.
Interesting, they got David Arquette on board.
Them's the rules, you noob.
Wow. Oh God.
Back at the Game Awards, we were proud to reveal
We've got Nightingale.
survival crafting game from Inflection Games in Canada. Now it's time to give you a brand new look and deeper look at the game, including its innovative realm card system that lets you impact things like the weather pattern, resources, and challenges in its procedural realms. Here is your exclusive new look.
You're alone in the realms, I'm afraid. The portals are a mess. Not even sure if Nightingale made it.
Oh, for God's sake. I was like, okay, it's interesting setting. Oh God, it's a fucking first-person survival game. Ugh, I'm so sick and tired of these bloody survival games.
Once you have realm cards, you can activate the portal. Beware though. Foul things lurk in the interrealmic void, waiting to get in.
So sick of survival games.
With your axe pick.
I mean, if I've heard rightly, you know, it's procedurally generated, but I just... You ruin it by saying survival game, because it's all the bloody same stuff, you know. Build a shelter for the night, make a fire, and do this, and kill these creatures, and get their resource, and this, and that, and then, like... Oh my God.
If these shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended.
Can we as the games industry agree to stop doing survival games for a couple of years?
The Saints are marching in
Right.
August 23rd with the reboot of Saints
Now this...
last year at Gamescom, and today we're happy to announce the launch of the Boss Factory demo across PC and console.
Right. So this is.
Saints Row, you guys are gonna have a
They did this for Saints Row 3, releasing basically the character creator.
You gotta do something to capture people's attention. So what do we build next?
The thing about Saints Row is it seems they've bought the mad creation that the Saints Row 2 and Saints Row 3 had. You know, from what I've seen, they've gone to such an immense amount of customization that you can literally, you know, pick which icon floats over your privates. Like, I am slightly concerned though the fact that in the trailer they've gone create the weirdest and most wonderful. Because I'm like, what made Saints Row 2 amazing was is that, you know, there was still a level of, I'm not going to say realism or believability, but, you know, it was kind of reasonably grounded, but you had those moments where it went off the wall batshit crazy. Then Saints Row 3 came out and turned it up a notch. I was got the VTOL back. I hope the VTOLs actually feel quick in this game, because in Saints Row 3 they just didn't, which is ridiculous because they're the quickest way of flying. Travelling, I should say. I want a Saints Row 2. I want a Saints Row 2 level, you know, grounded to wackiness scale. Because the thing is, if you go too wacky, you then fall into Saints Row 4 and get out of hell and those steaming piles of arse.
Fat Shark's follow-up to the critically acclaimed Vermintide series. Dark Tide promises intense 4-player co-op action and terrifying enemy hordes to team up against. And it's out on September 13th for PC, on Steam, and exclusively on console on Xbox.
And also, I know, you know, we shouldn't look too much into it, maybe, but I'm not in. Oh god, another Level Infinite game. That trailer didn't look phenomenal in terms of the texture work and the overall graphic, because, you know, the texture and stuff were fairly naff on, you know, on the Saints Row franchise. A lot of times that's worked to the game's credits. It means they're going to wacky bullshit, but there is a certain, from a franchise with such an established history and reputation as Saints Row has, you expect a certain level of look, of style, of vibe, and I'm worried about that, because I want it to be great, because I love the Saints Row franchise. I was gutted Saints Row 4 was shit. But I really hope it's great. I hope that Saints Row is great. But I just, at the moment, I'm not confident. This is a Warhammer FPS Horde game. Surely this isn't just like a game in and of itself, because that would get massively dull. Surely after you play, you know, say you play 20 rounds, and then you're like, well, done it now, haven't I?
It's a return to the world of Layers of Fears. Get a dose of this.
Okay, so your fears will return, which is a Layers of Fears follow-up, I guess.
and hatred of the horror of my loneliness. And it is mine to tell.
Now I see it. All this misery, all this suffering. There was no other way.
Shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have.
As I said earlier, I'm not. I mean, Unreal 5 means it's going to look gorgeous. But just not just in horror games. It's another horror game. I mean, is this the third or? I've got a feeling this is the. Hang on, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. So this is the 4th horror game we've seen so far.
This October, Gotham.
Right, this is what this is what kind of this whole thing was built around. Was Gotham Knights.
To protect Gotham. To give us an exclusive new look, let's head to Montreal to hear from executive producer Fleur Marty.
There's been a lot of stuff surrounding this in terms of the way they've written out Barbara Gordon re-becoming Batgirl, which is not great.
This showcase is the first in our character series, and we're really looking forward to share more with you as we continue working towards our launch on October 25th. So I hope you enjoy the show and stay tuned.
It's not actually being made by Rocksteady, this game, because it's obviously because Rocksteady are working on.
And then this city became my home.
If I remember rightly, obviously this isn't set in the Arkham universe timeline, whatever. So I think it's being. They said it's IDOS, or sorry, WB Montreal, right? So what they're likely doing is what they did when Arkham Origins came out, and just taking the combat system from the Batman games. Because obviously Rocksteady are currently working on, I think it's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I think they're working on at the moment.
It's up to me.
But I think, I'd be interested. I think this is focused on co-op action, I think. Though I am slightly worried it's going to be a live service. Which I think actually might have been confirmed as already. I can't quite remember. Let's just double check.
That was Gotham Knights, and now
So it's not, just correct myself, it's not a live service, which is a good thing. Because
great to have you with us, Neil.
Live services are shit.
Eventful day on the internet for Naughty Dog fans, and
I think we jinxed ourselves. We were joking about last night, like, watch the assets will leak, and lo and behold.
Well, the good news is there's some stuff that hasn't leaked that we have lots to share with people about all things at Naughty Dog. But first of all, it is it's a big month actually for Last of Us fans, because Last of Us 1 and 2 both launched in June, and it's nearing its 2-year anniversary for Last of Us Part 2, which is hard to believe.
Yeah, it's crazy. 9 years for Last of Us 1 and 2.
So yeah, this is obviously Naughty Dog. Obviously going to say as you know, it's been leaked that unless then we release a trailer that Last of Us 1 is coming to the PS5.
Last of Us Part 2 earlier this year passed a pretty big milestone. It sold over 10 million units, and that kind of support,
Jesus.
that kind of success, we're so
10 million units. Bloody hell.
allowed us to grow as a studio, and now we can take on multiple projects, more than we've ever had at the same time.
That's a lot. That's a lot of games. But Square Enix would still consider it a failure.
Last of Us fans expect in the future from you?
Thank you for asking, Geoff. So one of the things we've mentioned a while back is what started out as a multiplayer mode has evolved due to the team's ambition. They really wanted to do something beyond what we've ever done before at Naughty Dog. And we felt the way to do it justice is to make it a standalone title. And they've been working on it for the past 2 years. Ambition has grown, and we're not quite ready to fully unveil it, but we're ready to lift the curtain a little bit and just give you like an update of where we're at.
Okay, well, what can you tell us about this new standalone multiplayer game?
Yeah, so we have a concept art that we want to show. But what I can tell you is that this game is big.
Okay.
It's as big as any of our single-player games that we've done, and in some ways bigger. It's got a story. The way we're telling that story is very unique to this game. It's got a brand new cast of characters. It takes place at another place, another part of the United States.
It's like a city might be somewhat familiar to some people.
I'm sure our fans have already figured it out.
No, not a Scooby Boss man.
Being headed by Vinith Agarwal, Anthony Newman, and Joe Padnatti, all veterans of Uncharted and Last of Us. And you're going to see a lot more of this game come next year.
Next year, so wait till next year to hear more about that one. Okay, well, very exciting that this has evolved, and I mean, that concept art looks incredible. I can't wait to see Naughty Dog storytelling fused with multiplayer live game.
It's something special. We can't wait to show it either.
Okay, well, that's not all. We also have something that I've been reading about on the internet every day. It feels like up in Calgary, they're filming the Last of Us show for HBO, right?
Yeah, so for the past year, we've teamed up with Craig Mazin of Chernobyl fame and HBO to adapt The Last of Us into a TV show. They've been filming, and it's pretty incredible. The stuff I'm getting back, when we're looking at back at Naughty Dog, we can't help but feel emotional, because not only is it so good and the quality is so high, it's so authentic to what we've made in the game. I just can't. I couldn't be proud of, like, again, Craig and that whole crew and everybody that's up there. And their last day of filming is tomorrow. So
The entire series, last day of filming is tomorrow.
Last day of filming is tomorrow. Craig is up there right now, kind of wrapping it all up. So it's pretty close. It's closer than you might think.
And you actually got to direct one of the episodes?
Yes, I think that really speaks to the kind of collaboration and trust that exists between Naughty Dog and HBO. They invited me to direct one of the episodes. I think we have an image from the episode I actually directed.
Okay, so good first look. Let's take.
So you can see this is a certain museum that players might know from the game. And I really have to talk about Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, and not only directing them but seeing them do it. They've thrown themselves.
I mean, it's very interesting, of course, with the Sony are jumping a lot into this environment, making agreements. Kind of, it's funny, officially and not officially, given the fact that there's obviously, Last of Us show in the works on HBO. The Uncharted movie came out earlier this year, and then there was discussions of Amazon trying to get the God of War rights, weirdly without Sony, but they're jumping right into it.
Very, very exciting. And I hear you actually have a couple actors from the show who are going to join us here.
We happen to have a couple actors here that are part of the show. We should bring them up.
Okay, come on up.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Oh, hello.
Surprise.
Troy's back again. Hello,
I know.
Ashley. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm a little confused, though. I thought maybe Pedro Bella, but Troy Ashley out here from the game, right?
So when Craig and I started working on the show,
Excuse me, guys.
We said Troy and Ashley have to be a part of it, and we're such fans of like the talent and the helping us create Joel and Ellie. We felt like it was so important that they become part of the show, and it has to be more than just like kind of like a wink to the camera and like a cameo. Okay. These are real roles that we're keeping under wraps for now.
I do like that they've gone out of their way. Like, look, let's.
There's been so much stuff. I feel like
so good
on the internet. There's so much like talk about what's being filmed, and I think that's.
Let's actually
So you were up there and you filmed
pay tribute to the actors that brought this series to life. With Uncharted, there was an appearance with Nolan North. He was on. I watched a few of the kind of behind the scenes docs and stuff like that, and he was like on on set a bit, you know, giving pointers, you know, about stuff that, you know, to help make it feel like Uncharted. I do appreciate that they've gone, look, you know, let's actually get the actors that, you know, voice these characters involved.
And we've been trying to sort of describe that feeling of sort of seeing them.
That said, I'm always worried about this kind of about video game TV movies and stuff like that, because, you know, other than what other I discussed this a couple of weeks ago with a couple of months ago at this point with a couple of friends of mine. Like, actually good video game to movie or video game to TV show adaptations. Detective Pikachu doesn't count because Pokemon is such a massive franchise.
Game that they're playing, new characters, can you tell us anything?
Yes.
I can tell you. So sneaky. All right, well, we're
You know,
excited.
Maybe it's already on Twitter by now.
So yeah, you know, Pokemon Detective Pikachu doesn't really count because, you know, Pokemon is a massive franchise.
Really, what's happening is it looks like you guys are remaking the original game.
Then
This is like a ground-up remake, is that right?
I feel like there's one more and I can't remember what it is, and that's, you know, that's about it. Every other one is awful. You know, Max Payne's terrible. Hitman, Agent 47, I think, or Hitman 47 is terrible. What else have we had? Obviously, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are awful. I think Warcraft was, you know, some people have gone, oh, it's, you know, it's really cool, but others have gone, no, it's awful. So this is obviously, as mentioned earlier, the Last of Us Part 1 remaster, or remake, I should say. A total remake of the game. Again, it looks really nice, but it's a little bit odd, as I said, that they've broken it up.
Can't be any worse out there.
You know, partly I kind of understand, because it kind of falls under the same purview as the Final Fantasy VII remakes. But
How many close calls have we had?
I just think
You make every shot count.
I got this.
you know it.
I've had some practice.
You know, my big conflict, though, as I say, you know, I understand why they've gone, you know, let's build it from the ground, redo it from the ground up.
Because you did these performances you did a decade ago.
Yeah.
You didn't go back in. I mean,
You know, redo from the ground up.
Yeah, actually, we the process where you could take the original animation that we did
for the next gen, right? But there is, and this is the same thing I had with the, I mean, you know, that's.
how much it has changed that you went and you redid the models and rebuilt everything.
I mean, hang on a minute.
Same art director, re-art directed the whole thing from the ground up.
This might sound controversial. I think the original actually looks better. I think the originals actually look better. If you look at the one with is Ellie the name of Ashley Johnson's character? That, I think that's meant to be the very same shot. The blood and the dirt on her face just disappears. There's a lot more definition on Joel's face in the PS4 version than this remaster, so it's very odd. As I said, to me at least, the original looks better.
I actually played it again just to refresh my memory before working on the show.
I was just a glutton for punishment, and I went straight from playing
never
part
played
one straight into part two. And so the last time that I played literally would have been 2 years ago, since we're celebrating the anniversary of part
But yeah,
two.
anyway, I was saying, as much as I understand the as I said, separating those two off. There is, and it's the same thing that hit me with the Final Fantasy VII remake. The fact they're going to be charging is going to end up charging double the price than the original did doesn't sit well with me whatsoever. Especially when you've shelled out all this cash for brand new console. You know, even if it's just on the digital only version, that's still 350 quid for that console. You know, especially if, you know, if you bought it digitally on PS3 or PS4, then you're like, right, I can't do anything. You know, I've criticised a lot Sony's lack of backwards compatibility.
I haven't given up my day job. It's a little early to talk about it. Maybe if someone in PlayStation wants to leak it, then we can talk about it now. Otherwise, we'll save it.
But you do have a new project.
Do have a new project, but we'll save it for another Summer Game Fest.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll try and save it. All right.
I was going to say, that presumes there's going to be another one.
I'm so excited that The Last of Us is returning, as you said, in September. So thanks, guys.
That presumes there's going to be another one, given he'll probably go, actually, I kind of...
Naughty Dog and PlayStation for that very special look at The Last of Us and the entire franchise and where things are going. Very, very excited about that. All right, Summer Game Fest continues over the next few days. Coming up right now on this very stream is Day of the Devs with I Am 8-Bit and Double Fine.
Oh, that's all over. I thought we were going to go for at least another hour.
Devolver Digital Showcase. Tomorrow, we've got Netflix Geek Week, which I'll be
I thought, because Gamescom opening night went for 3 hours. I thought we were in for around that, but they've cut it short. They've gone only for about 2 hours.
As for me, I'll see you again in August when we are back live in Cologne, Germany for Gamescom opening night live on August 23rd. And then the Game Awards will return in December live from the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. And finally, I'm excited to share that Summer Game Fest will return in June 2023.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised about that, because I thought one of the major publishers, when it was unveiled that, you know, E3 is coming back, would have gone, right, we want Geoff Keighley. But it's very interesting. So games like Summer Games Fest is coming back. Very interesting. Tim shows this is Day of the Devs. So what's Day of the Devs? I presume this is like some, obviously, chat with developers.
What? You don't know what Day of the Devs is? Day of the Devs.
Let's hit Tim Shaver explain it.
And definitely the oldest independent games festival that exists. It was started over 10 years ago by Double Fine Productions and I Am 8-Bit to celebrate the best independent games out there and bring them to you, the fans. We wanted to bring developers and players together to get together, play games, and have a great time. It used to be a physical event only in San Francisco, but now it has gone digital, so the whole world can enjoy it. And we're really excited this year to be part of Summer Game Fest. So sit back, relax, put on your party hats.
This thing? I'm supposed to put this on?
That's right, everybody. Put on your party hats. Everybody.
Tim Shaver must feel, I think, I said this to a couple of fellow amateur games journalists, basically, when Double Fine was announced to have been bought by Microsoft, I was like, Tim Schafer must feel bloody, like, ecstatic at that, because it means he doesn't have to go groveling at E3 asking for money for money, because he said before that that literally he doesn't see anything of E3 because he's always sat in a boardroom like trying to sell his games. So that's quite cool that, you know, he doesn't need to do that anymore.
My name is Michael.
So we're just gonna
know my work from a game called Track and Play.
We're just gonna dip this down because I'm not sure anything's gonna, you know, there might be a few kind of nice little indie games we might refer back to, but we've got my notes to go through from Summer Games Fest. Right, let's kick this off. So we started with the announcement that Guile is going to be in Street Fighter 6. Unsurprising, given, I mean, he is principally part of the franchise. So, you know, standard Street Fighter character. I'm interested to see where Street Fighter 6 goes. As I said, the interesting way they look to be doing potentially open world is intriguing, but I'm not super enthused about the potential. About the potential, Battle Hub stuff, because it's a Capcom game and Capcom like that kind of bullshit. We then had the announcement of Aliens Dark Descent, Corp Squad shooter. We got like 10 seconds of actual gameplay for this title. Other than that, it was a cinematic trailer. So, I mean, as I said, I'm not a massive fan of the Alien films or the games. I've not played any of them or watched any of the Alien films yet. Some I will, probably down the line. But yeah, certainly another one to add to that list. Though a squad shooter, at the very least, something like Fire Squad, I think it was the name with the most recent one. Was a third-person shooter, so it kind of had a bit more gameplay to. I don't want to sound like a dick, but had a bit more gameplay to it than a shoot than this kind of co-op, kind of potentially like a twin-stick shooter would have. Then we had Callisto Protocol. So we learned that the team behind this is actually made up of former Visceral team members, which is very, very interesting. Unsurprising that it's a sci-fi horror game. Looked like a lot more emphasis on melee combat than the original Dead Space games, which are very much, as I said, kind of back off, shoot with your weapon, take them up before they get any closer, because if they get close, you're absolutely fucked. After that, we had... I'm going to skip over this, because, as you can tell, during that, I didn't care. Modern Warfare 2 2022. I've said all I had to say during that game's presentation. Then we had Flashback 2, apparently a sequel to some legendary game, but I've never heard of Flashback in my life. Maybe that makes me a bad journalist, but screw it, we're on that path anyway. Yeah. Didn't really get anything from that. It had the kind of... I like the kind of slight switch perspectives that, something like Fez or those kind of, traversal kind of systems or titles have. I quite liked it. At least the look of it. But from the small look, I was like... As I said, art design, I like the art design. But other than that, I'm like, I ain't got a clue what this thing's about. Then we had Witchfire. Witchfire is an interesting one. Witchfire is a really interesting one because it's a very pretty looking game. And the idea of combining FPS gameplay with spells is, it's been something that's tried before. Obviously, something like, Destiny had kind of spells, that kind of thing. Outriders has shooting and spells, and so does Mass Effect, or getting back to the biotic powers with the third person shooting. It's certainly an interesting concept. I am slightly wary about where it will go in terms of its long-term development. Probably my first bright spot of the show. Then we had Fort Solis, another sci-fi horror shooter, sci-fi horror game, excuse me, with Troy Baker and I can't remember the bloke's name now, the lad from Red Dead 2. Another sci-fi horror, not really interested, as I said, not my kind of thing. Neither was Routine, another sci-fi horror game. Outriders is getting an expansion. Outriders World Slayer, just more of that game. I wish it wasn't so much of a grind because you know, when that was first being shown off, I was like, this looks really, really good. It's like my kind of thing. Apparently it's just a massive grind fest, so I'm not enthused about it. Stormgate. Now, Stormgate, just a quick side note, this Planet of Lana thing looks really, really cute. See, I like the look of that a lot. So, Stormgate. Let's talk about Stormgate, because the fact that on the stage they said they were formerly part of some of the development team, were formerly part of Blizzard, made it make so much more sense, given it's a mere cinematic trailer for an RTS game. Obviously got bloody nothing, because because that's the reason why Blizzard always did these RTS games with like mad cinematic trailers. So, crikey, that's just seeing this Choo Choo Charles thing is like a fucking it's like a horror Thomas the Tank Engine mod. Anyway, oh god, that's got spider legs as well. That'd be horrible for any arachnophobes. Anyway, yeah, Stormgate's not massively intriguing at all, because I'm a fan of strategy games, but when strategy games try and sell themselves to me with cinematic trailers, I always get concerned and I start to become distrustful. So following that, we had High Water. This looked gorgeous. Not like barely any kind of gameplay. It was just walking around, and potentially it looked like interacting with NPCs and stuff. But a gorgeous little art style. The concept is really, really cool. The idea is, at least from what it seemed, you're on Earth post rising sea levels, and a whole new civilization really of living has come about. Really focus on going from port to port. Potentially a lot of trading and stuff like that. Looks gorgeous. Again, not a lot. That's just me assuming we get some trading and stuff like that. But look gorgeous. That's definitely one I will be keeping an eye on personally. So will American Arcadia. Another one with a gorgeous little art style. As I said, really simplistic, non-defined facial features. But, we've seen with the Worms games, that very simple, non-defined facial structure you can get so much emotion out of. It looks like a side-scrolling puzzler in similar veins to something like Limbo or Inside. Another one I would definitely keep an eye on. And I'm glad we had those two moments of great, amazing stuff, because then we had Goat Simulator 3. The first two Goat Sims sold themselves on, look, it's a buggy piece of shit simulator with wackiness. This looks like it's going around the same thing. Because you heard me, I looked at it, I was like, those facial models look weird. Oh no, there's a goat. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And it turned out to be. So we got that. Marvel's Midnight Suns, 2 new characters announced, Venom and Spider-Man. I'm surprised. I am surprised that Sony have allowed Spider-Man and Venom to be part of this game. Obviously they were part of... Of course, they were part of Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3. But the fact that they're letting the Spider-Man character be used a lot in a lot of different games is a decent step. You know, Midnight Suns. As we said, tactical RPG, which we knew from going in there. It's a Firaxis title. I'm sure it'll be pretty good. What would after that? After that, we had Cuphead's Delicious Last Course DLC. As I said, I'm a little bit kind of hesitant to try Cuphead because I know it can be so frustrating that I don't want to end up chucking my controller or my Switch at a wall. But yeah, you know, and more DLC for Cuphead. A good little, you know, obviously gorgeous little title, that Cuphead. Following that, what do we have after that? After that, we had Neon White, which looked absolutely incredible. I love the look of this title. As I said, Mirror's Edge, in the sense that a lot of parkour, mostly white blank backgrounds, which means that the colours of, you know, the blood and, you know, and any adversaries you face, just they pop so much more. That looks really, really good. It also looks like a variable FPS. Just from what I could see, of, you know, the cards signify the weapon you've got. So it looks like the samurai sword is the base weapon, and you can go around and pick up, you know, Uzis and other rifles and stuff like that. But it seems kind of as you reload them, you exhaust your card slots. So it means you've got to be potentially very, very smart with what you use to, you know, to make sure you've got the right weapons to reach the end of the level. I really like the look of that. I also love the look of Midnight Fight Express. As we said, we saw some of that on Gamescom's opening night, and it still looks amazing. I love the look of that little game. The fact it's made by one bloke is astounding. So I love the idea. I love how that game looks. I can't wait to try it. I'll definitely be giving the demo a go, and I might even update you once I've given that a go. After that, Warframe is getting seemingly a new expansion. I think, maybe. I'm not, as you could probably tell, I've not paid attention to Warframe, but, you know, another expansion for apparently quite a good FPS is all good. What else? What do we have? Honkai Star Rail. So this was the first of 2 games from the Genshin Impact developers. Now, Honkai Star Rail looked to me like a sci-fi JRPG, I think. Didn't get much of actual gameplay. Again, it was much like this, and in fact, the next one, Zenless Zone Zero. A lot of work on character development. Actually, that's unfair to Zenless Zone Zero. So, Honkai Star Rail, again, very limited from what we saw. But Zenless Zone Zero, they showed actually a bit of the combat, and it looks like a bit of varied kind of... very combat-ized. It looks like at least variation between the play styles of each different character, which is what you want. And you know, it certainly looks. That's the game out of those 2 that intrigues me the most. I just hope that they're not. I've heard from friends that play Genshin Impact that Genshin Impact is like mega grindy, full of microtransactions. I hope neither of those. You know, the one that intrigues me is Zenless Zone Zero. If that has no microtransactions, if it's a single player game, I'm totally on board. That looked quite interesting. A bit more on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. New character shown off, Casey, and a 6-player mode, which is quite interesting. Which is going to be absolute madness. But apart from that, was about it. Then we had Super People, which, as I called, is a multiplayer, at least appears to be, a multiplayer FPS with superpowers. Could make for an intriguing multiplayer experience, but I've got a feeling it ought to be a very infuriating multiplayer experience. Next we had I was going to go... There it is. Humankind, 6 new playable cultures. As I said, Humankind's a weird little beast because it so obviously not just takes inspiration, but so much more from Civ, from a Sid Meier's Civilization series. Should mention, obviously, all the playable races are Latin cultures. You know, very, very good to see, you know, diversification and representation of different, you know, cultures in this how would you best describe it? I don't want to say a Civilization clone. This cultural builder. There we go. I might have just completely, you know, talked out of nonsense, but we're there anyway. We then had One Piece Odyssey, which, from my notes, celebrates the 25th anniversary of One Piece and is a JRPG. Apparently, One Piece is like pirates or something like that. No, I mean, if you're a fan of One Piece or something like that, you know, more power to you. Then we had Soul Hackers 2, an Atlas JRPG. Surprise, surprise. Didn't get a whole lot from Soul Hackers. Again, a bit like what was the other one? It's just gone from my mind completely. Honkai Star Rail, like, a lot of focus on like cutscenes and that kind of, and like, you know, characters as opposed to any actual gameplay. You know, if it's an Atlas JRPG, it'll be very story focused and that'll be the main focus. I was going to say fairly rudimentary combat on the rest of the gameplay, really. Capcom. Oh, this one just makes me chuckle. Capcom Arcade Stadium 2, a game that in its trailer had the song "New Games" playing in the background when they are ostensibly all old games. You know, I do find it funny that, you know, Capcom, they've got, you know, the odd, you know, new game like Street Fighter 6, and they're like, right, shit, panic, I guess throw another arcade collection out. So that's probably like the 3rd or 4th arcade collection on the Switch. After that, what do we have? We have Mario Battle League, the sequel to Mario. Again, Mario Strikers, I think is the right one. The GBA, and then Strikers something else was the Wii U one, or the Wii one. Sorry. A fun Mario Party football game. I'm assuming it's much less horrible and frustrating than the awful, infuriating Mario Party franchise. But anyway, you know that, you know, comes out tomorrow. I might pick Mario Battle League up because, you know, interesting take on football and that kind of thing could be interesting. Side note, Bear and Breakfast. This looks really cute. I like the look of this a lot. Few more to get through. We've got Metal Hellsinger, Rhythm FPS. As I said, we saw this. Can't remember which show this was on, actually. I'm thinking about it before this show here. A really, really cool idea. As I'm not a massive metalhead, but I can appreciate some good music in a video game, and it could be just so, you know, as I said, you know, when games do music sync to gameplay right, they are some of the most memorable experiences you'll ever have. So Metal Hellsing could be a really good little shooter, and I'm looking forward to it. I think they said the demo is out now, so that'll be another one that I give a go alongside. What was the other one I was going to give that had the demo out? I cannot remember. Which one was the other one that had the fucking demo out? I really can't remember. That's really annoying. I'll have to I must have accidentally deleted it from my notes. The Quarry, which comes out tomorrow, and I've seen a lot of people playing it. And Until Dawn, I think they said spiritual successor. Another horror game. I'm not into horror games. We've already been over this. But the Until Dawn franchise is quite well regarded, I think. So I'm sure that will be another decent little game for those of you who like horror. Right. This was a massive disappointment to me. Nightingale. The setting was brilliant. The setting was awesome. I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, you know, Industrial Revolution, sci-fi kind of thing. Like, I think the last one we got that I can think of that was in that era was The Order 1886, and that was crap. So proper, like, you know, proper interesting title, you know, set in that era, given a bit more oomph to the Industrial Revolution, so it could be awesome. And it's a sodding survival game. I'm so sick and tired of survival games. I know some of you will say, well, there's not been that many. I don't care. Like, I went through, maybe it's just me, but I went through a period of time of playing, you know, a reasonable amount of survival games, and I'm just so bored of them now. So, sure it'll be alright. Saints Row's Boss Creation Suite demo is out. As I said, I'm a little worried about Saints Row because the trailers hasn't looked amazing. I really want it to succeed because I love the Saints Row franchise. I want it to stay. I want it to, you know, I want it to have, you know, the grounded but kooky aspect. That's what makes Saints Row so good. So that, you know, God, I hope it's all right, but I'm just not convinced it's going to be, you know, as good as I hope it is. Then we had Warhammer Dark Side. Oh, sorry, Dark Ride. Dark Tide. Third time's a charm. I can't read my notes apparently. Warhammer Dark Tide. An FPS horde shooter, which I really question the longevity of. Because if it's, I mean, obviously there are those that can play those for hours and hours on end. You know, you look at how long people play the Call of Duty Zombies for. But I wonder for, you know, how much actual replayability that's got really. Just kind of generic really. Your Fears will return, a Layers of Fear from the team that brought you Layers of Fear. Another horror game which I'm not interested in. Then we had Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights, a game I'm really, really not going to say worried, but it's a game that could potentially confuse me, because the thing about it is that, as I said earlier, it's not being made by Rocksteady, but its combat mechanics are going to be, I almost guarantee, you can almost guarantee, I don't need to see me, you know, it's almost a foregone conclusion. Everyone could have guessed this, you know. They're going to try and wholesale lift the combat mechanics from the Arkham series. They set the bar, let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. But I wonder what, because I think it's like tailored towards co-op play. The fact it's not a live service is encouraging, but the last time there was an Arkham game not done by Rocksteady, it was a colossal failure. You In fact, the last one that wasn't done by Rocksteady, I'm pretty sure, was Arkham Origins Blackgate, which was a colossal failure. And then before that, it was Arkham Origins. So...
The first 10 people to figure it out will get a free copy of the game at launch.
I mean, I don't know, Matt, honestly. It's...
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm more excited for Rocksteady's Kill the Justice League than I am Gotham Knights, I'll put it that way. Then we finish with a lot of stuff on The Last of Us. A sneak peek at what looked like it was going to be a multiplayer game, which is interesting. I mean, what's quite interesting is that a lot of people I know that played The Last of Us said that the multiplayer was tacked on for no reason whatsoever. So, very interesting. Very interesting in terms of Naughty Dog's approach to this. Because, of course, they then showed, obviously, bits of footage from the remake, which is very odd to me because, as I said, to me, and, you know, feel free to you know, disagree, the remake looks worse. The remake looks worse than the remake looks worse than the original. The original, there's more texture to the characters' faces. There's more, you know, you saw the side by side in the remaster, the remake, excuse me. In the remake, Ellie has blood on her face and like couple scars and stuff, and on the that's on the original, and on the remake, they're gone. On the original, Joel's face is a lot more defined. There's a lot more, you know, you can see his pores, you can see his, you know, dirt and stuff on his face, and you can't see that in the remake. So it's very interesting to me that, at least in my opinion, it looks worse than the original. But that brings us to a close for Summer Game Fest. I think part of me is thinking let's stick with the Day of the Dead, but also part of me is thinking not to. I mean, there are some really cute little indie games in this. Like, there's a couple I'm already going to keep an eye on. That Bear and Breakfast looks like a really fun little title. But yes, that's the end of Summer Game Fest. Of course, what have we got coming up next? Oh yes, of course, we've got the Devolver Digital show at 11 o'clock tonight. I'm not going to be able to make that. Neither am I going to be able to make the Netflix Geeked Week due to work and such. But we're going to recap those when we are back together for the Guerrilla Collective on Saturday. That's kicking off at... What time is that kicking off Eastern Time? It's kicking off at 4 PM Eastern Time. So we will reconvene for that. And then following that, an hour and a half later, we've got the Wholesome Direct. And then after that, we've then got the Future Game Show. That's kicking off at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, so that's 8 o'clock our time, on my time, I should say. So busy day Saturday. Then we've got the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase and the PC Gaming Show. That gets started at 7 o'clock UK time. The PC Gaming Show gets kicked off at 8:30. We've got the Capcom Showcase, which I think we might miss, because I think Capcom's biggest two had been already shown off. We've got the extended showcase for Microsoft, probably just showing stuff we've already seen, and a few. And then the last one, I think, or at least it's down already, is the E6 Indie Showcase. I would be willing to bet that a number of the same games are going to get shown off that we see on the Future Games Show and stuff like that. So Still a busy E3 replacement stream week coming up, a weekend especially coming up. So with that, I shall see you all later on Saturday, as I say, where we'll start. I'm going to start maybe half an hour early maybe, ahead of all those starting, so we can actually recap the Wholesome Direct, not the Wholesome Direct, sorry, the Devolver Digital and the Netflix Geeked stream to see if there's any major stuff that happens. But thank you very much for watching Bloody Brilliant Games. I've been Sam, and we shall see you on Saturday, as I say, for those big three. And we are far from done with the summer of games. Thank you very much, folks, for joining me, and I shall see you on Saturday.